I just want to make a quick guide on the team composition I used to climb difficulty in Zero System. So the planet I targeted was the Foretold Ruin because it is weak to Justice, and the main carry in my team composition is Haru, who is a Justice unit, with the Kalipe as the shielder and Mika as a general AP support unit. Kalipe can also be replaced with Magna, who also gives a lot of shields and is also a Justice unit, so she will also do weakness damage to all the units, most of the units in the Foretold Ruin. So the strategy is just to go normal, don't go nightmare. If you just want to clear chaos, this is not an abyss guide, this is just a chaos clearing guide, high difficulty. So just go normal mode so you gain less stress after every battle, and try and hit only the machine units because they are weak to Justice. There's also the random like bandit or whatever units that are weak to fire, and yeah, so you just want to mainly avoid those if you can help it, and only try and target the machine units because they're all weak to Justice. So the decision making in each unit is prioritizing random events that give divine epiphanies and card removal. So every time you get a card removal, you always want to delete Mika's cards first. So delete Water Arrow, then delete water barriers. So you want all these cards gone. The rest of the cards are okay to keep. If you get Whirlpool, you ideally want to delete that card as well because it's so trash. So Water Arrow priority, then Whirlpool, then Water Barrier, Water Barrier. Those are the 4 cards you always want to delete first when you get the chance to delete cards. If you have more than 4 deletes in the run, you want to start by deleting Anchor Drop on Haru, and then start deleting Lashing and Tears Vow on Kalipe, and then Upward Slash if you can, but usually you don't get to that point where you'd have to delete that many cards. So yeah, that's the priority for card removal. These 4 cards first on Mika is the most important because these cards are just so useless. Okay. Next, I'll talk about Epiphany priority for each character. So first of all, Haru. For combatant epiphanies, so the epiphanies that give you a new card, not the upgraded card, but a new card, combatant epiphanies, you just want Anchor Pointer, and that is it. So the moment you get Anchor Pointer from a combatant epiphany, either from, if you're lucky, like right at the start of the run, you get Anchor Pointer, stop. You do not want to proc any more combatant epiphanies on Haru. If you get something else, then of course you want to keep getting combatant epiphanies on Haru until you get Anchor Pointer. The moment you get Anchor Pointer, you can just stop with combatant epiphanies. For Kalipe, combatant epiphanies are fine on her because all her cards give shields basically, and the Greatsword Aquila is basically 2 cost when you have Vulture Ejection in hand, so it's also really nice to have. If you don't have it, it's also a 1 cost AoE, which does pretty decent damage, 150 AoE base without any epiphanies. That's pretty nice. But basically all her cards are really nice. Since she's just a shielder, then yeah, drawing any of the shielding cards as a combatant epiphany is really nice. As for Mika, you want to avoid combatant epiphanies as much as possible. You have to proc one at the start, so hopefully you get the Deluge or Tactical Analysis. So these are the 2 best epiphanies to get. And after you get one of these, like after the initial epiphany, you just want to avoid combatant epiphanies like a plague. So in general, based on what I've said, like you just want to avoid combatant epiphanies as much as possible. The moment you get Anchor Pointer on Haru, like that's it. You do not ever want to get combatant epiphany events because they just clog up your deck with really bad cards. And as for the best epiphany for every specific card, I'll just go through them quickly. For Anchor Shot, you want the combo one. That's the best by far. Close second, I would say, is this Anchor Shot one, the 4th one, if you do not have E2, so you do not have the 0 AP Anchor Shot, then you can just use this one, also pretty decent. If you do have 0 AP Anchor Shot, you can do the 5th one because it just gives you free damage basically if you crit. But the combo one is definitely the best by far. For Anchor Pointer, if you have E2 plus, so you have 0 cost Anchor Shot, the middle one is definitely the best by far. If you do not have a 0 cost Anchor Shot, so you have E0, then the first 3 are all fine because you can basically hold. They have different ways of holding the Anchor Shot in your hand until the next turn. So Power Charge, you just want to keep the 1 cost one because you just want to keep your cost low because you want to use Anchor Shot, that's your main damage source. So yeah, just the 1 cost Power Charge. For the charge energy, the best one is the middle one, especially paired with a combo anchor shot, was it basically doubles the bonus you get from this. The 0 cost one on the right is also pretty decent, but it just doesn't have as much impact as the middle one. So for Calliope, Epiphanies for Vulture Ejection, I'd say just get the ones with shield. The one that just gives you more shield, that one's really good. And the one that increases damage and shield, that's also really good. I don't really like the one that gives damage because I played Calliope as purely defensive character, so I prefer 2 and 3 over the rest. Greatsword Aquila, the Silver Veil one is pretty good because there's no shielding Epiphanies for this, so just get more damage with Silver Veil. And the last one was also pretty good because you just keep getting this card back every single time, so one cost AoE 150 is not a bad card at all. Overpower, basically more shield, so this one's pretty good. And they all have a 50% shield increase, flat increase, which is really good. 2 tenacity damage, not bad. Like, they're all decent options, honestly. Like, you can't go wrong with Overpower. But I'd say the fourth one is the best because most of the time you get more shield than the other ones. Another shield drawing card, but the best one is Celestial one in the middle. Even though it costs 2, you never actually hard play it. You always use another 2 cost card like Anchor Shot to proc this card. So yeah, it's basically a free card when you're in hand. And that doesn't have an Epiphany. And as for Mika, the best one by far is definitely the stress reduction because you basically never mind break throughout the whole run if you get this one, or you mind break like once near the end at worst if you have bad RNG. And other ones are decent. Like, I'd say the 1 cost one isn't that great, and the exhaust one isn't that great because you kind of want to keep it in your hand. Like, the other ones are whatever, it's just a minor upgrade. But the 4th one is definitely the best for chaos runs. Blessing of Waves, definitely the best one is the one that gives you shield based on heal overflow, because if they don't manage to break the shield, you take no stress damage. And the 5th one is also pretty good simply because it's free, but it has Finale, so be careful that you don't use it. Yeah, always have to use it at the end of your turn, basically. Yeah. So just be careful to not use the Finale at the start of the turn and you should be good. Tactical Analysis, I'd say the best one is the upgrade one because you just remove it from your deck cycle, so you never draw it again after your first draw. And the other ones are basically the same thing, like, but the best one by far is definitely the 5th one because you completely remove it from your deck the first time you draw it. Whirlpool, you just want to delete this card because it's so garbage. But if you do have to keep it in your deck, the best Epiphany is definitely the 2nd one because it only costs 1 and you can actually get a full AP refund if there are 3 more enemies, which you get 3 wave back, which is basically 1 AP. So yeah, the 2nd one is definitely the best by far if you have to keep it in your deck. And yeah, that's about it. So that's the general strategy. Haru with the Anchor Shot Epiphany is really important. So you kind of want to get like at least the 2nd one, 4th one, or 5th one, or the 1st one. Like, I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as you get the Epiphany. But the best one by far is the 2nd one. So you kind of really need this because this is your only source of damage on the whole team. So if you don't get the Anchor Shot Epiphany, you're kind of cooked, or the run's going to be really hard. And Calliope is just the main defensive unit to reduce stress gain by shielding most of the damage taken every turn. That's basically it. Vulture Ejection is free cards, like just a free play every single turn. Ego Skill is really nice, get a free Vulture Ejection. And Mika is just the AP regenerator for Haru. You basically want to find cards in the shop like attack. Usually you only want 1 attack in your deck. Cards like Rally, as many as you can, and Gear Bag. I mean, you can use the injection shot card, stimulation shot, whatever it's called. It's like 1 AP, cost 1 AP, draw 3. That's also pretty nice. And you can also use the energy gauntlet thing that covers 1 AP for 0 cost on Kalipe to give Haru more AP to use more anchor shots every time. Other than that, yeah. And also the healing is also good stress reduction. So basically if you're not full HP and you have a healing card in your hand that you can play for free, might as well play every turn to reduce stress every single turn. So yeah, that's just the overview of how the team comp works.